Good morning everyone, hope this video finds you well. Wee bit of football last night, hope you got some dividend winners out this list here. I know I'm quite happy with Hazard snagging us some more dividends outside of the fantasy football side of things, but hey ho. So just looking at the footy, there's been a lot of good movement over the last week. If you look at the trending list, there's been a lot of people increasing and jumping right up in price over the last couple of days, and this is a lot of people just getting prepared. Like I said to you, people will be getting their portfolios sewn up for the period ahead, and a lot of these people are probably taking advantage of the April phase of the promotion, which we touched on a little bit yesterday. Okay, a little bit of bad news if you've been on the choo-choo train. The Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's got an Achilles injury and he's out for the rest of the season. So been chatting to a few guys, been commenting and asking me questions about players, and Hudson-Odoi is one that comes up fairly frequently, and the kind of advice I've always had is, as long as nothing changes, there's no rush. But this is also a massive change, so I hope you're not finding out this news from me. You've been on the ball and you've seen the game last night, get subbed off I think in the first half, and you were able to cut your losses on him. Equally, if it's somebody who you've not bought into because of any reason, you might find a nice opportunity coming up, to buy him, because you want to be thinking ahead to next season. I don't think an Achilles injury is normally fairly serious. I don't think he'll be in the England team coming up, and you can expect to see his price kind of wane and fall off for a period of time. I'm not too sure. Like I say, I put a tweet out the other day about Felix dipping after getting knocked out of the Champions League, and that dip was so quick, so quick. I expected that kind of movement, but maybe over the period of, you get the instant dip, somebody drops off a cliff, like you can see here, and then maybe within a week to 10 days, you might see that recovery, people getting back on him. But with Felix, it was 24 hours, so it tells us either a few things about the market, which I'll touch on in our video, or just his power as a potential holding right now. Okay, but we're here to talk about fantasy football match day 3, guys. It was another great match day for us in terms of dividends that we earned and players doing what we expected them to do, and we've had a bunch of transfers, right? So this is how the team's looking right now. We sold Giroud last night. We were disappointed he wasn't in the team. He bagged us a goal and an assist in the Europa League, so he earned us some dividends, which was really nice. And I expected him to play last night. If he came off from the bench, I wasn't the be-all and end-all, but this is something for you to take a note on, okay? So we've had Giroud and we've earmarked to sell him on Monday night, okay? We see the starting lineup, he's not in the team, okay? Now you can ask yourself at this point, what do you do, right? And I'll tell you exactly what I did and what I always do in that kind of situation, especially if they're on the bench and they're very likely to come off the bench, is you basically just wait for maybe the 50th minute or something to rock on. This is if you have to sell them now, for any reason. I've had to sell them because I'm buying other people with that money for the fantasy football team. So at 50 minutes, I've put him up for sale, and then next time I've looked at my phone, he's all been sold because he's come off the bench and people have bought him because they think, oh, Giroud's coming on, he might come off the bench and score a goal, and then, if I buy him early enough, you kind of catch that pre-rise, okay? So you can either gamble, you can either sit and wait for it to come on, wait for him to do something, but sometimes you can miss the boat with this, and sometimes if you've just had in your mind, I'm selling him today, you've not had that kind of boost of him being in the starting 11 where he jumps up a pence or two. You just need to wait for the signal for the subs to start coming, the 50th, 55th minute, and then, just get rid, So we sold him for 47 pence a share, I want to say, and we'd already bagged, we had 30 of them, didn't we? I was on the bench, 2 seconds, I'll just add them back on so I can see how many of them I had. Yes, we had 30 of them, they got a goal and assist, so we got 60 pence of dividends, and then we sold them for 1 pence more than what we paid for them. So that 1 pence takes care of the commissions. So we basically made 60 pence on them, and 30 times 40, we didn't have much on them, it's like £13 or something like that, So yeah, it wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. But again, guys, I've got a list of all the dividends we've earned and all this type of stuff, and I'll go over this at the end of match day 4. Not the end of match day 4, sorry. I've got the deadline for the original 11 is the 6th of May, okay? And on the 6th of May, we'll have a look back at all the dividends we earned, how much money we put in, did the dividends give us any decent profit margins, was the capital appreciation also at hand, that type of thing, okay? So Giroud last night and the last Thursday did us pretty well. Keane, unfortunately, has kind of dropped off. He got nice and high up towards like 290. And then with Juventus coming out the Champions League today, sits at, I think, 250 flat. So we're down a couple of pence on him after being up quite considerably, which is unfortunate. Julian Brandt has come into the team, and as soon as we got him on Thursday, because that's when we bought him on Thursday, we're guaranteed to get him for every last match he has this season, so every dividend possible. So we sold basically everyone on the bench in different increments. We sold Wijnaldum when he started in the Champions League on Tuesday night. We sold Robertson at the same time. We sold Guerrero ahead of Sunday anyway. I was disappointed not to hang on to him a little bit longer, because he did bag an assist on Sunday, and his price maybe made a bit of a recovery after being injured. Di Maria is still he's still in the team. Why have I subbed him? Oh yeah, just okay. So we'll put Di Maria here because we still have Di Maria. So we still have Di Maria there now. He's down at 46 pence. He's not come back from injury yet. He was on the bench against Monaco. I think he was on the bench on Sunday. Didn't come off the bench, certainly, if he was. Asensio is still in the Real Madrid team. Got a nice wee assist for us on Sunday, which was cool. I think he played midweek as well, Real Madrid, but I don't think he actually contributed anything. Same with Varane. Alaba, we got him on Thursday last week as well, so that guarantees we got all the dividends for the last remaining matches for him. Oblak bagged us a nice wee clean sheet, which was cool. And then by selling Wijnaldum, we brought Kante into the team, and Kante scored for us last night, which was really good. So what we did is we actually had some spare money, because I've had some of my other half of my portfolio doing some moves, and he was down at 46 pence having scored a goal. So I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to spend my smash on some more Kante. I'm buying dividends at this point, and he's at a cheaper price, you know. So the overall is still sitting at 47 pence, but we've got 20 of them at 47, and we've picked up 8 at 46, you know, so it's not a whole number anymore. And it just increased the amount of dividends we bagged on him, which was cool. And then we had Coutinho, who's back in the team with, you know, and the thing about Coutinho is he gets this perception that he's not playing, he's not featuring for Barca. Obviously scored a world day against Man United, which was good for us, good for dividends, good for his price recovery. And he's still featuring in the team, you know, they rested a lot of players, I might say before the Man United game, he didn't feature. And then I don't think he started on Saturday or whatever day. He didn't do anything for us over the weekend anyway, but he's getting links now to Chelsea as well as Man United. Chelsea may want to buy him to replace Hazard. So don't know what we're going to do with Coutinho. I've got him planned, I've got him penciled in to be sold, I think tomorrow. And then we've also moved Denzel Dumfries into the team, okay, just for the transfer stuff that's about to happen, you know. So when we've sold Jovic on the eve of the Europa League as well, we've then kind of moved some, you know, so Varane and Dumfries, I've basically just moved them in to the fantasy football, because I've not really deposited money for the last couple of weeks, just because, you know, things have been tight, and, you know, it's summer, you want to spend money on other things and whatever. But when I've released money from other places, like Kramaric and I don't know, different things I've sold, I've then bought a lot of Varanes. I've seen an opportunity in them on the back of the summer promotion announcement, and I bought a bunch of Denzel Dumfries, and I did deposit because I just didn't want to miss out on him after, you know, I've highlighted him to you for a reason. It's because I believe in him. He's already up 2 pence, which for me, having 100 of them is £2. He scored a goal from right back at the weekend, and we bought him last week, and he got an assist last weekend, so the guy's on great form. And when he gets in that Holland team in the Nations League, we can certainly see him, you know, doubling price is not out of the question at this point. So the team's sitting really, really nice, really, really strong. Oblak bagged us another clean sheet as well, which is nice and solid. So 3 games we've had Oblak, and we've had 2 clean sheets, which is a great return for a goalkeeper. And if we invested more money into him, then those dividends, you know, are nice. You know, they're really good. And Koulibaly got us 2 goals last week. So again, as well, everyone in the team is earning, which is good. You know, even Keane dropping, he scored goals for us. But, you know, so everyone in this sheet, with the exception of Dumfries, because he's not in a qualifying league, you know, but even if you take that to one side and you think, right, well, if we didn't have Dumfries and we held on to Guerrero, we'd have got the assist, you know, and or we held on to Wijnaldum and we said at 3 at the back, we'd have got a goal. So everyone we're picking is bagging dividends, which is cool. Except for Di Maria's only dead weight really we've got hanging about. Also, we've brought Varane in recently. Varane's more for the longer term, which is cool. So the next thing I want to show you guys, and I touched on it in the last video, okay, yesterday, is just having your transactions all laid out, okay. So when I've just got their names, so like Varane, Alaba and Brandt, Pepe, Sanguer, Depay, SMS, yeah, these types of guys, then that's when I've highlighted that's their 30 days. That's their final 30 days of IPDs coming from that point onwards. There's not a match on these days, but if I buy them there, I'll get all the remaining matches in for IPDs and for the fantasy football. And then once this team is then set, so what it will look like is Coutinho and Asensio will be out, and we'll have an SMS and Sanguer. Keane and Di Maria are going to go, and we're going to have Pepe and Depay. And then we're going to have on the 4th, before, because we've got Oblak to earn us clean sheets up till the 6th. So on the 4th, we're going to release our Oblak and go get some Butland. He's the only goalkeeper I think is going to have any semi-credible transfer link. Otherwise, Oblak himself has just signed a new contract, so he's not going to be moving. De Gea, maybe. I suppose we might have a look at De Gea and see what we think. But again, who's he going to go to? He's not going to go to Real Madrid. They've got Navas, they've got Courtois, they've got the coach's son, for backup. Is he going to go to Barcelona with Ter Stegen? And who's their other goalkeeper? Killison? Probably not. Is he going to go to Bayern Munich? Only if they sell Neuer. Is he going to go to Juventus? I suppose that's not out of the question, actually, now that you think about it. Chesney isn't exactly a world beater. And is he going to go to Paris Saint-Germain? Well, they've got Areola, who's a graduate, and they've got Buffon, so I suppose maybe PSG and Juventus are possible. Maybe an Italian team, if Inter Milan and AC Milan. Also, they keep spending money the way they talk like they're going to be spending money, and I know they've got a lot of off-field personal troubles with who owns them, and there's a lot of shady things going on, or things that are being portrayed as being shady anyway. So actually, as I talk to you, De Gea might be somebody we might want to keep a little eye on, because Man United are kind of in a downward spiral now, and he's, £57. Yeah, I think we might go for De Gea, because he can still bag us a clean sheet. Yeah, so let's we might do that. Let's have a wee think about De Gea, because I don't know. I don't really see him moving, to be honest with you. So also as well, guys, I've been selling some Felix. I bought Felix just because of the whole Felix versus Jovic. I sold Jovic before the game, and I was a wee bit disappointed that people bricked it and done the dirty on him because they seen he signed a contract. I tweeted about it, so I'm not going to cover that ground again. But I'm happy to hold some Felix, but I'm going to have some money floating about elsewhere. We went and bought some Haller. This is all personal stuff now, guys, personal portfolio, because he's just been on that massive downward curve. He's coming back from injury and he's going to be playing against Chelsea. So can we get him back to £1.16? That is the fat end of a 15% rise. I'm happy to ride that for the next week or so. We've got him at 105. I was watching him yesterday from 102. Seen he wasn't in the Frankfurt team, and I thought, brilliant, he might go back down to £1. But no, he went to 105, and I was like, okay, well, I need to buy him now. He's not going backwards. People are just getting on him because they know he's going to come back for the next games. Wee bit kind of off topic, guys, but so the personal portfolio, guys, I didn't show you those two at the bottom, so I didn't want you to see how different the fantasy football stuff looked like until today. But the personal portfolio sits as Hazard, Sterling, Jovic, Jovanovic, Van Dijk, Douglas, Cristiano, Felix, and Haller. Okay, so we're making some good moves, guys, and as I said to you, yes, it's vitally important that you have all this planned out now. You have it planned out. Anyone who you want to hold for the summer, you get on them as early as possible. Now, I'm doing all my transactions, and this is another point you really need to understand. I'm doing all my transactions in April, so that phase 2 come the 1st of May is going to be a clean slate. I don't need to sell and buy and all that nonsense. I'm just going to be depositing and buying, depositing and buying, depositing and buying. Okay, so you need to, like I said yesterday in the video, I'm going to do another video about the summer things. I'm not going to go into it in too much more detail, but this, you've got to have your strategy laid out. You've got to have it itemized. What happens on this day? Who's playing who's doing this, who's doing that, when's a good time to take some profit, all this kind of stuff. As you can see, this as well, guys, before anyone uses ask, I'm going to a wrestling convention. I'm not a big wrestling fan, but I collect toys, and I'm happy to go get some autographs in Liverpool over this weekend coming. So I'm going to have a nice wee weekend away, and probably not going to hear from me too much because I'll be doing that, I suppose. But thanks for tuning to the video today, guys. Match day 3, another kind of decent success. And we look forward ahead to match day 4, where we're going to have a lot of new additions coming into the squad, and hopefully some more dividends coming our way. Okay, guys, stay out of trouble. I'm probably going to do another video later today, just the way my work schedule's panning out. I want to talk to you more about this phase 1, especially phase 2 situation. Okay, like, share, comment, subscribe, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. If you're new around here, stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.